Good morning. Hi, I'm Rolly Brown. This is the first post-solstice live stream of the year for this end of 2025. The solstice was about 28 minutes ago, and now the days are getting longer. Have you noticed? So a lot of folks checking in here. Let me do a quick hello. Keith Shaw and Dave Van Allen and Jambone Jim over there on YouTube. And then Slim Edelman and Marlene Burke and Rhonda Scott Merrick, Linda Worster, Bob McKenna, Warren and Janelle, Keith Shaw on Facebook, Michael Tierson, Deb Leiby Clark, Donna Greenberg, Carol Pratt, Denny Oliver, Jeanette Huber and maybe John, and Sharon Saki Lips and maybe Peter Lips, and David Arthur Radcliffe and over there in the UK. So that's a great crew. I am going to cloink you. There's lots to do here today. So there's a cloink that you can read, and we'll go boink on the microphone. We'll avoid the always embarrassing teaspoon in the eye possibility. And then I have two pictures of Charlie, my lunatic dog, for you this morning. The first one I just put up there because he's surrounded by, this was just a few minutes ago, he's surrounded by the statue of Kuan Yin, which is an artifact of Janus, and on the other side, the little flying pig lawn ornament, which I don't know where the hell that came from, whether somebody gave that to us or whether it was here when we moved in. But the flying pig is still there after all these years, and that's all fine and well. And then the other picture I took of him was just such a nice profile of him. I thought I would share that as well, and that's right there. So took a little. The colors are a little daffy because he was in shadow, and I had to use some trickery to get you to be able to see him as well. But that's a really nice profile of Charlie. That's really what he looks like. And I see John Rossi is here, and Karen Beatty, my dear friend, and Ron and Aretta, Ken Nasheff out there in Seattle, Steve Davidson in Philadelphia, and Debbie Moore in Maine, and the whole crew. So it's great to have you here with me. So we did Charlie, we did our cloink, and it's time for some music. So this song, boy, this song has a history, and I was thinking about it this morning. I wrote this song almost exactly 5 years ago, and to set the stage for it, we were almost a year into the pandemic. My wife, Janice McKenzie, had just died about 2 weeks earlier. Trump had been defeated by Biden, but it was before January 6th. It was also before any vaccines, so we were all still quarantined. And the world was pretty dark, but we were hoping that Joe Biden would be able to help us out, and he did help us out. He just couldn't fight the forces of fascism at the end of his presidential run. It's another story. So anyhow, my good friends Wendy Bourne and Lauren Jansen and Annie Patterson of Girls from Mars were going to do a holiday show, and they invited me to come on and be a guest on it, online. And I didn't have it in my heart to do, the Christmas song or something like that. So I wrote this song. And I was thinking about it today because 5 years ago, I was alone in the park in the dark with Suki, and really at a low ebb in my life. And today I was in the park with with my dog walking posse, Greg and Charlotte the golden retriever, Sue and Goldie, the golden retriever, and of course Rick and Maxie. And it was there was a lot of laughter, and it was a little later in the morning, so the sun was up. It was such a strong counterpoint to what this song was about. But Debbie Moore had requested this, and here it is for you all. Well, it's 4 days till Christmas, and the mornings are so dark. I put on all my layers and get the dog out to the park. The year has been a tragedy, and the world is pale and cold. It's 4 days till Christmas, and I am growing old. We're waiting on the season, we're longing for the sun. We're clinging to a lifeline till the new year has begun. We've had a great misfortune with all its twists and turns, but 4 days till Christmas is when the light returns. So it's ashes to ashes, and then it's dust to dust. But we'll light up the Christmas lights and resurrect our trust. You know, it's written in the annals that life's not always fair. But hang that star high on the tree, because hope is in the air. Yes, now we're at the crossing, the turning of the tide. The darkness is defeated before the new Yuletide. We're facing to the future with all its twists and turns, because 4 days till Christmas is when the light returns. Yes, 4 days till Christmas is when the light returns. 4 days till Christmas. 5 years ago, in some ways, it was darker than it is now. Right now, it's a darker time for democracy. But there is a resistance, which is good. I don't think there was anything like this in Germany in the 30s. I don't know. So next up, let me see who else is here. Diane Desmond, Shirley Tudhope, Ann Mintz, my good friend, Janice Kerman-Hannon from Colorado today, and Michael Miller from North Carolina, Diane Desmond up there in Vermont, Frank Mato in Euclid, and the land of my upbringing, and John Sprouse, I think I said hi to the rest of you, Kathy Marzik and Donna Greenberg, and the whole crew. So we will continue on. Rob Horowitz is here, and that's everything. So Carol Pred requested this next one. It's a Jobim tune. It's unusual for Jobim because it's written in the key of D, which is kind of an unusual key for bossa tunes. But it's a real pretty one, and we'll see how it goes. I see Sarah Steele is here on YouTube, and last time Sarah Steele was on, I forgot to mention, I should always mention, that beautiful painting right behind me there is one of Sarah Steele's paintings. And I could probably do this for just a second. Yeah, and then you could see the whole painting. And Sarah does beautiful watercolors and has for decades and decades. And always used to put out a calendar. The calendar is no longer a thing. I guess this year the calendar has gone the way of all things which return to the earth. But there are books. Go to sarahsteele.com, SARASTEELE, And you'll see beautiful coffee table books of her paintings, which are gorgeous. Okay, that's the commercial for today. I'll see if there's anybody else I can think of to advertise. And Mike Schnabel is on YouTube. I don't know what that's up to, going to, if he can't get on Facebook today, and or if he just wanted to watch on the TV. So, Wave by Antonio Carlos Jobim for Carol Pratt. So that there is my attempt for today at Wave, and beautiful tune which I used to play when I played more with other people. We would play that tune with Ken Ulansey on sax, or with my buddy Jay Ansel on mandolin or violin. Could be any of those things. Okay, so next up, this is a request by David Arthur Radcliffe, and who obviously shares my dark sense of humor. This song was written by a guy named Tim Wallace, who was a much beloved singer-songwriter and kind of jug band performer in Cleveland area. And Tim died probably 10 years ago by now of some kind of cancer. And before he died, there was a long vigil in his hospice facility that became known as Timstock, where they kept waiting for him to die, and he just wouldn't because he was having too much fun. Everybody would come by and sing tunes. And I never got to meet him. I wanted to go out and meet him, but it sounded like a bad idea for people who didn't really know him to be intruding on that moment. But anyhow, I learned this song of his out of a deep respect, you could say. And it is one of these songs which, for me, is characteristic of the Cleveland, Ohio sense of humor. So. Well, I shot myself through the head, but you don't even care. I held my breath till I was dead, but you don't even care. You know, I nailed a note to my forehead saying you don't even care. And I hate it when you treat me this way. You know, I gassed myself the other night, but you don't even care. Burnt my lips on your tailpipe, but you don't even care. You told me that I never did a single thing for you, not even when I choked and turned your favorite shade of blue. You know, I hung myself, but I suppose that you don't even care. Right next to your favorite clothes, but you don't even care. I was strung up by your pantyhose, and you don't even care. And I hate it when you treat me this way. I flung myself off of your roof, but you don't even care. Well, my dead corpse is living proof that you don't even care. I landed flat with a big fat splat, but on my way down, you know, I called your name so folks would blame you all over town. Well, I shoved grenades into my jeans, but you don't even care. Blew my butt to smithereens, but you don't even care. And you weren't even listening, 'cause you don't even care. And I hate it when you treat me this way. You know, I climbed into the lion's den, but you don't even care. I never did climb back out again, but you don't even care. You know, they pawed me and they clawed me the way you used to do. And when they ripped my heart out, I could only think of you. Well, I slashed and gashed and bashed myself, but you don't even care. I trashed and mashed and thrashed myself, but you don't even care. I even made a flaming ash of myself, but you don't even care. And I hate it when you treat me like I'm maladjusted. Well, I hate it when you treat me like I'm, you know, self-destructive. I hate it when you treat me like I'm codependent. And I hate it when you treat me this way. You don't even care, from the writing, from the pen of the late, great Tim Wallace. And that was a request from the UK, from way over across the pond, from David Arthur Radcliffe. So it's time for today's announcements. Bunny Barnes and Kurt Lippy and I will be playing at the beautiful Sellersville Theater here in Sellersville. And I've actually changed my cover photo on Facebook to reflect that. I already had a photo of us up there, but I put some text on it now, so if you could, the website is there. If people want to go there and buy tickets, I'm sorry it's not going to be online, but that's the way of the world, the way of the corporatocracy and all that kind of stuff. So, but we are planning to video it like we did last year, and that will enable us to put it up on YouTube as an afterthought. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. That's Bunny's kind of thing. So let me get in here, and Denny Oliver's here, Jeanette Pasqua is here, and maybe Rich, and Kenneth Jones. Hi, Kenneth. And let me see if I'm missing anybody else. I think I said hi to most of you. Gina Gilbert. Hi, Gina. And Gina these days is doing like shiatsu body work for dogs, and Charlie would not stand for such things, but for many people, their dogs could really profit from that. She's, I think, in New Jersey now, but she might be coming up here and going to the shiatsu school and doing it. You could go to her Facebook page and check in with her. And Debbie Daniels is here, says Tim Wallace was wonderful. I'm so sorry I never got to meet him. And Rhonda Scott Merrick, and I think I said hi to most of the rest of you. And Leanie Angles and David, maybe. They're lighting the 8th candle tonight. And yeah, to all of you, I wish you happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. And Connie Copy is here. I think I said hi to you. I might say hi to many of you several times. John Ferrulo is over on Facebook, on YouTube, because Facebook is freezing up on him. That's a good enough reason. And that's I think everybody. So if I missed any of you, that's the next part of the announcements. There are invisibles. There are people who I do not see on my eCamp live stream, because Facebook is very closed-mouthed about who they let onto the eCamp thing. They're such assholes at Facebook, I gotta tell you. Anyhow, we're just a product to them. We are not customers. So the Invisibles include, but are not limited to, George Young and Joel Biget and Judith Fox and Mario Prue, who brings us to the next part. This is the guitar for today, the Mario Prue RBL00. And I talked to Mario on the phone last week. I took this guitar to the guitar tech who did some great work on both of this and the pre-war. His name is Brian Huff, and he was recommended by Bunny Barnes to me. And really nice guy and great workshop. And while we were there, we were trying to figure out weird things about my guitar, because Mario is an outside-the-box thinker about guitars. And we pulled out this bridge saddle and found that on the bottom side of it, there were these little notches cut into it, which neither of us had ever seen before. So I thought, well, what the hell, I'll call. So I just called Mario, and he explained why they're there. You know, he thinks they affect the tone in some way, and that also, if the top starts to belly, because there are those notches there, the bridge saddle, which is made of bone, can have a little flexibility to adjust to the change in the top. So very cool. This guitar is going back. We had to get another bridge blank to get a winter saddle. And so the Prue will be going back to Brian on Monday. And that's all good news. It's great for me to have a guy who I trust to work on my guitars. So that's that. There is a PayPal link as always if you want to give something to the Charlie the Dog Fund. Charlie is snoozing happily over by the window right now. He was chewing his bone when we began, and I was afraid that was going to be a sonic problem, but it has not been. Okay, so Invisibles, guitar, PayPal. The schedule I am on now, somebody will tell you who's on Monday, and Tuesday, Cozy and Charlie will be back for their 10:30 concert. Be sure and watch that, because they will lift your spirits while they're lifting their own, which is what we're all trying to do here. And then I will be back on Wednesday. That's Christmas Eve day, and I'll be having some kind of lunch with Cliff and Ann, I hope. And but I will also be here at 3 o'clock to do a live stream. And if they're here, they could be a live audience for it. Who knows? And they could cheer loudly. And they both love. They're okay with me, but they really love Charlie. They come to see Charlie. So we'll see how that goes. And Margot Lemieux is here, and Cozy Sheridan herself is here. We just announced your concert, Cozy, and I think that's everybody. So So Margot, shoot me a message if you've heard anything from our friend Dean, okay? I'm concerned about him. Okay, so next up, this a blues from the early 50s, repopularized by David Lindley later on. Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown and buy me a Mercury or two, 'cause I'm crazy about a Mercury. Crazy about a Mercury Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise up and down the road. Now, hey there, mama, you're looking fine, cruising around in your Mercury 49, 'cause I'm crazy about a Mercury. Crazy about a Mercury Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise up and down the road. Now the woman I love, I stole from my friend. You know that fool got lucky, stole her back again, 'cause she knew he had a Mercury. She knew he had a Mercury Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise up and down the road. You know my baby went downtown, she didn't stay long. She bought herself a Mercury and come cruising home. Wild about a Mercury. She's wild about a Mercury Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise up and down the road. If I had money, if enough people contributed to the Charlie Dog Fund, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown and buy me a Mercury or two. Crazy about a Mercury. I'm crazy about a Mercury Ford. I'm gonna buy me a Mercury, cruise up and down the road. Yes, I'm gonna buy me a Mercury, cruise up and down the road. Mercury Blues. And just for those of you who, who weren't alive in the middle of the 20th century, when they say a Mercury Ford, the Ford Motor Company owns Mercury. Mercury is a Ford brand, and people used to be more aware of that. So when they say a Mercury Ford, they're not. You shouldn't be confused. Okay, just saying. So next up, just to keep the ball rolling right along here, I'm seeing all of your lovely comments. I see this unlovely one from John Sprouse. Margie fell out of bed, banged her head. Well, I hope things get better. Hang in there, John. It's hard times all around. Rhonda Scott, did anyone write a blues about the Yugo? Yeah, but it's in Slavic languages, so we can't do it here. So next up, this is a classic rag, the first classic rag that I was ever exposed to on the guitar, because it was way back when I first started to learn to fingerpick, and it was in Happy Traum's first book, Fingerpicking Styles for Guitar. And there was a picture of Dave Van Ronk, young Dave Van Ronk, with a big old J200. And he played, the music was for the St. Louis Tickle. And we all wanted to learn it. It was right up there with Angie as the tunes that you had to learn to make your bones as a finger picker. And so I learned it, and there were parts of it. Dave had really big hands, and I do not. And there were parts of it that I had to rearrange, and I always felt bad about that I couldn't play it exactly like Dave did. And I also took some of the things he did, just little touches that I kept in there that were very guitaristic. They couldn't have been in the piano version, and I kept those. And then there was recently I went back and I found, you can go on YouTube and find the piano version, the original St. Louis Tickle, and I realized that Dave took a lot of liberties. It's not all that much like the original one. It's still it's such a, it almost should have his name as a co-write on it, but and then my name now, because I do things differently than he did. So here it is, the St. Louis Tickle. St. Louis Tickle by I forget the name of the guys who actually wrote it, but owing a great debt to the wonderful Dave Van Ronk, the late great Dave Van Ronk, who was a larger-than-life character in every way. So I want to thank you, as always, for joining me. It's been lovely spending time with you. It always is. And I have one more here. I can't remember. I think this comes under the very wide aegis of Kit Sarikaku requests. She sends me a large list. You can see it on my on my Facebook page sometime. Anyhow, this is one I wrote. This is a song. This is another Cleveland song. You know, I grew up in Cleveland, and this was not from my growing up period. This was years later when I went back. I was traveling across the country on a motorcycle, and my good buddy Alex Bevan said, "Hey, I'm playing at the Hessler Street Fair. Why don't you come and play with me?" And then my life unfolded from there. The song tells the tale. On the road long ago, back when my ducks were all in a row, up on stage with an old friend, we played our songs, we took a break, then I made my first mistake. My whole life's been up and down since then. I was standing there with a glass of beer, just taking in the atmosphere, when an old flame snuck in and stole a kiss. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have known just how destiny would steal much more than this. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time's so bitter, time's so sweet. It all began on Hessler Street. From that day my life changed, all my plans were disarranged. I was living under a spell. You know, I'd love to blame somebody else, but I had done it to myself. In time I knew it all too well. Summer went by in a flash. My former life had turned to ash. There was no one to whom I could return. And when the whole thing fell apart, there I sat with my broken heart and one sad lesson to learn. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time's so bitter, time's so sweet, and it all began on Hessler Street. If I could go back and take one more try at that first mistake, there's no telling where I'd be. But you throw the dice, you take your shot, you know, and you learn to live with what you've got. What could have been remains a mystery. Fate is such a funny thing. A life can turn on the beat of a butterfly's wing. Time so bitter, time so sweet. It all began on Hessler Street. Everything turned on Hessler Street. So thank you so much again, all you guys, for joining me. Let me see if I'm missing anybody on my list here. Bernd Bookman, hi Bernd. And again, and Bob McKenna, I think I said hi to. I can never remember who I said hi to. My memory sucks. Mike Carr is here, and like all that stuff. So much love to you all. Have a great couple days. Go listen to Cozy and Charlie, the human Charlie, not the dog Charlie, who is right over here. And I will see you on Christmas Eve day. And in the meantime, be happy and be healthy. Be brave and be calm. Be kind. It's a snap. If you get cranky, take a nap. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Keaton B. over there on YouTube. Nice to see you here. And you guys have a great rest of the beginning of the week. And I'll hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.